material science and engineering.
I'm very sorry for this inconvenience. So I didn't know that our schedule is delayed too much, but actually I need to leave soon. So I will finish my talk very quickly. Okay, so my name is Jang-Ung Park, and I'm working for the fabrication of the electronic devices. So actually research topic is very different for this conference, but I hope that we can make great collaborations with studying different topics. So we are making the electronic device with flexible and stretchable forms, so people can wear that kind of electronic devices. So this field is called as the wearable electronics. So our group is working for that kind of wearable electronic devices. So as you know, the IT industry, I mean, the growth engine of the IT industry is a smartphone, but the market of the smartphone is saturated, so we need to find another alternative growth engine. And wearable electronics can be a second growth engine of the IT industry. So, for example, Google and the Apple and the Nike and Samsung and LG, they make lots of the wearable electronic devices. Google Glass is the representative example. But the market size of the wearable electronics is expected to reach over 6 billion next year. But actually, this market size can be bigger if we make the electronic devices as the comfortable designs. For example, the current Google Glass is not flexible, right? It's just a glass. It's a rigid form. But if we make that kind of electronic devices with stretchable and flexible forms, then that device will be very comfortable, and the market size will be much bigger. And you will see the top images here. These are this comfort design of the electronic device. Will you buy this? Probably not, right? So we need to change that kind of designs to the flexible and stretchable. Then the comfort, the device will be much comfort. So this kind of design is very important. In order to make this kind of design, we need flexible and stretchable forms like clothes, right? So I mean, it's very easy to make that kind of flexible and the stretchable designs. If you think the spider web, it's transparent, it's invisible, right? And also it's stretchable, and also it's very flexible. So if we make the devices like a spider web geometry, then we can make flexible and stretchable designs. So our group is working for that kind of spider web designs using the electronic devices. So we use silver nanowires and graphene is the single atom thick the material. It's world thinnest material. It's just carbon. You can think this graphene as semiconductor. And using the silver nanowires, if we coat the silver nanowires as network, then we can make this kind of spider web geometry. So we can stretch. So by making this kind of geometry, we can make a transparent design, and also we can make stretchable designs. So by using this kind of spider web structures, we can make electronic devices. This is the example how to make a transistor and sensors. So this is the graphene is used as a channel, semiconductor part, and the silver nanowires used as the electrode part using this kind of web geometry. So we can make this kind of transistor. The speed of the transistor is determined by the mobility value. But actually, by using this kind of graphene, we obtained mobility over 2,000. But the current silicon is silicon is used as the semiconductor material for the transistor. But that silicon has the mobility around 600. So this graphene shows about 5 times higher mobility. So this means that the speed of the electronic device can be faster about 5 times. And also we can use this kind of transistor as sensors as well. And if we make that kind of transistors or sensors using this web geometry, it's stretchable. For example, we can stretch over 10,000 times. The length can be twice. And also this is strain values. So it doesn't show, the electronic performance doesn't degrade by stretching or flexibility. So we can change this transistor to the sensors by attaching this kind of glycopyrene. For example, we can make the cone A sensor. The transistor can, the cone A protein can be attached onto the graphene area. So in this way, we can make a cone A sensor. Cone A, we use just the cone A as protein, but most protein can be used by changing this kind of functional groups. You can think this functional group as a adhesive glue. So this functional glue react with the specific proteins, so we can make protein sensors in that case. For example, the image shows like that. So once the cone protein is attached onto our device, the current is changing. So in real time, we can sense this kind of specific sensors. And also we can make stretchable and transparent geometries because the structure is a web structure. So that our device is flexible and stretchable and transparent, and that sensor device is attached onto the human skin, hand, like this. It's almost invisible. So this is the magnified view image. And also in this sensor, we don't need a battery because we made antenna. It's like a barcode. So when you buy product from your market, you use barcodes, right? And that kind of barcode can be used as sensors. So we don't need any energy devices. So, and by using this barcode principles, this sensor signal shows at specific the frequency ranges. So this kind of transparent and stretchable electronic device can be made using this kind of web structures. And eSkin is known as that kind of the skin-attachable sensor systems. But in the previous studies, for example, UIUC University, this university shows that kind of opaque the eSkin sensors. And that kind of sensor is opaque because they use the normal metals like gold and coppers and so on. But instead of that normal metals, we use transparent spider webs. So the sensor is attached here, but it's almost invisible. So in this way, we can make a transparent e-sensor, e-skin. We called this as e-skin. And our students is doing the experiment. So our sensor is attached here. So by attaching the barcode, the sensing signal appears like this. So you can think this coil as a barcode system. So wirelessly, we can monitor that kind of protein levels onto the human skin. And also we can make touch screen panels using this kind of spider web. For example, our student is writing here. So we made the transparent and flexible touch screen panel, and and that device is wrapped onto the wrist. And then our student is writing here, and you will see the letters. The bottom, the movie shows also similar things. Due to the time matter, I will skip the movies. Sorry about that. And also, that kind of transparent electronics can be used as a heater. So in this way, we can make a stretchable and transparent heater. For example, this is the image. The image was taken by the IR camera, and the yellow spot shows the heated region. And we can stretch this kind of a heater, and that heater is transparent. So we can use this kind of a heater for the thermal therapy onto the human skin. For example, this is at room temperature. Our transparent and stretchable heater is wrapped onto the finger. At room temperature, the water is not evaporating, but if we heat, the water droplet is evaporated very quickly. But we cannot do multiple experience because the finger is so hot, so our students cannot stand here. And also we can make this kind of transparent and stretchable heater, and this is attached onto our human skin. And the IR camera shows that this part is hot. This is a hot spot, and we can use that kind of the heater for the thermal therapies. And also the temperature of this heater can be controlled by smartphone. And the next part is alcohol sensor. I mean, the Professor Abdullah mentions that the alcohol is very important for the aging, is right? So we need to sense the alcohols, is right? So if we can sense the alcohols using the smartphone, I think that will be great. So we are making that kind of system. So using the spider web, we made the alcohol sensors, and dependent on the concentration of the alcohols, the electronic signal, intensity of the electronic signal is changing. So the minimum, the sensing concentration is 50 ppm. So that amount is very is enough for the alcohol sensor. And our student is blowing, and before drinking alcohol, this sensor doesn't react. So you cannot see any peaks here. But she drink alcohol, and then she breathe, and the peak is happening. I mean, the peak intensity increases, is right. So using the smartphone, you can make that kind of alcohol sensors. So actually, this is the alcohol sensor, and that sensor is integrated into the case of the smartphone, and using the Bluetooth, the sensing signal is communicated. And also, we can make a transparent the alcohol sensor, and that transparent alcohol sensor is attached onto the display of the smartphone. And then by injection, the alcohol gas, the peak increases slightly. And this time, the much stronger the concentration of the alcohol was injected, so the peak intensity was increases. And if we increase the gas concentration stronger, then the peak intensity becomes higher, something like that. So we can also make the transparent alcohol sensors as well. And the next part is the glucose sensor. I mean, for the diabetes, so the detection of the glucose is very important. But the glucose sensor, most commercial glucose sensors are invasive. So we need to make non-invasive sensors. So we use the contact lens. So by using the tear, I mean, in the tear, the human tear, the glucose levels are included. So if we attach the sensors onto the contact lenses, then we can do the glucose sensing. So we made that kind of wireless glucose sensors onto the contact lens. So all the antenna and the sensors are transparent and stretchable. So the soft contact lens can be used as the substrate. And then the rabbit wears, and then we can detect the sensing signals dependent on the concentrations. So actually, this movie shows that experiment. So the contact lens is, I mean, the rabbit wear the contact lens now, and the sensors are integrated onto the contact lenses, and using the barcode by locating this barcode close to the contact lenses, the sensing intensity increases, right? So in this way, we can make a contact lens system, smart contact lens system. And nowadays, we try to make the displays onto the contact lens as well. So display pixels can be turned on soft contact lenses. For example, we can turn on the light onto the contact lenses, something like that. So this is in conclusion. I mean, in conclusion, we can make the sensor and wireless devices onto with the spiderweb geometry. So that device can be stretchable and flexible and transparent. So that kind of sensor system will be very interesting for the wearable electronics. And thank you very much. Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Can this be used for absorbing the energy from the sun? If you put
Solar cell, you mean?
Panels on the roof.
Yeah. You mean solar cell, is right? Yeah.
Can this be used?
So in the case of the solar cell, the sunlight should be observed. This means that the device is not transparent. Yeah. So probably solar cell system is not suitable for the transparent electronics, I think. Yeah.
Very interesting. Please say me
how long we can use this sensor? 1 year, 1 month, 1 day?
Reliability is very important issue. So actually, so for the alcohol sensor, we are testing that reliability. In current state, 1 month is okay, but we didn't test it after 1 month. I mean, longer than 1 month. So
And for example, for glucose also?
for the glucose, so we made the glucose sensor on contact lenses. So people normally wear the glucose,
One
the
day.
contact lenses within 1 day. So for the glucose sensor, probably the reliability is not important issue, I think. So, yeah.
Thank you.
I congratulate you for a good presentation and excellent thought.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell us the tentative cost of these sensors, which will
The-
be in the market?
Yeah, so for the manufacturing issues, actually the mass production is very important. But in our system, we just use the conventional fabrication processes. So I think that the cost will not be very expensive, but it's not commercialized, so I cannot expect the exact cost. Sorry about
Thank
that.
you.